All right, just flow with me for a second, okay? So, I'm a content creator. I have a YouTube channel, obviously, but I'm also an entrepreneur and just making sure you can hear me. All right. I'm also an entrepreneur, and in 2024, am in this phase of restarting my business completely from scratch. And I'm starting something called a creator business. What's a creator business? For me, the way I would define that is a creator business is a business that, like, your YouTube channel is the heart of that business. Your content creation is the heart of your business. It's the heart, the foundation. It's like if you think of a tree, your content creation is like what is that called? Of a tree. The it's late, guys. I'm sorry, my mind is going blank, but like the main part of the tree, and then there's there's the branches. That is like a creator business. Trunk. Just call me Olu. Thank you. The tree trunk. How could I forget that? Your content creation is the trunk, and everything that stems off of the trunk happen because of the content that you create. And if you're creating a creator business, that means you want to operate in the creator economy. The creator economy is, I don't have the exact numbers, but it's a really big industry and it's only growing. I think it's in the billions, if not trillions, in projected growth over the next few years. And over the next 10 years, the creator economy is going to continue to expand. Right now, there's not a lot of like the rule book for the creator economy hasn't been written fully. It's still in these developmental stages. And when you're thinking about what business to even start, a creator business is, I think, a solid business to start because this is an emerging industry and it relies on video content, which is not going anywhere anytime soon. We as consumers of content, that's going to continue on for the foreseeable future. So I just want to take a moment to share how, like, the way I describe it, I'm anxious to really get into the weeds of starting this creator business. With that statement, it's a little tricky because since I've started my YouTube channel, I have started my business. And that's the thing, like, I'm not only a content creator. My YouTube is, as I explained in the beginning, it's the nucleus. It's the thing that is going to birth this business I envision in my mind. I talked about in the past of, like, you want to have an audience, you want to have a community. As an entrepreneur, having an audience community is one of the greatest assets that you can have. Many ways to go about creating a successful business, but I just think about one of the lessons I learned when I embarked on entrepreneurship, how much money it takes to start a business. There's a lot of startup costs. And the thing about social media is still free. It's free for me to create this content on YouTube. In a way, you do have to invest in your setup and everything like that. But what I'm saying is I'm not charged a fee to post a video, you know? So I I'm nervous though. Like, honestly, this past month, since I've been doing this live stream challenge, that has taken most of my time and my energy. So I haven't done many other business activities outside of building this YouTube channel, which is okay with me because I can't stress enough, my YouTube channel is the heart. It's the heart. There we go, of everything that I'm doing. So it's fine that I'm pouring all of my energy into this right now. But there's other things that I'm going to have to do and focus on coming up because I can't I can't rely on AdSense to give me the revenue that I want to have on a monthly basis. There's going to be an ecosystem built around this YouTube channel. And as I'm sharing what I'm going through, I hope you can take tidbits away of this idea of starting a creator business. If you start your YouTube channel, a whole business can be created off of it. But anyways, there's different activities, business activities that I have to do in order to maximize my YouTube channel. Some of those things that include creating my first digital product. Does anyone else watching, what are some business activities? Like, are you guys just see yourselves as content creators, or are you also trying to create a business around your YouTube channel? Just want to take a moment to say hello. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Maggie. Uh, um, hello. I'm happy that we can connect while you're on your way home from work, Shelly. And Olu, I'm happy you're here with me live. If you are here with me live, I'm going to rely on you heavy in this live stream because after 30 days of doing this, I'm dwindling, but I'm showing up the best that I can. But yeah, I want to create my first digital product because I feel like that's a good entryway into starting to build out this ecosystem of my creator business. Some of the initial things, like if we're talking about revenue streams from having a creator business, I think the most obvious is when you're able to monetize your channel, which I have been able to do. I have at least unlocked the first tier of that. And I have in my YouTube studio, let me pull it up for you. It says, if you see that estimated revenue, $11.76. I got monetized yesterday. So it feels good to see something there. You know, I don't have expectations that in the beginning, the money I'm making from the YouTube, the platform itself, just through the different monetization avenues on there, it's going to be a lot at first, but I hope to see it grow in the beginning. So that's one form of revenue stream that comes from your creator business. When I'm able to get the AdSense, I will keep that under the same umbrella of like my revenue stream from YouTube, you know? So yeah, the next revenue stream I think I want to get into is the digital product space. Sapphire is here with me. Hello, Sapphire. Sapphire creates like natural hair inspiration type of video content. Sapphire, do you plan to do you have any other monetization things? Like would you create a digital product of some sort? And please tell us what your channel is about so I don't butcher it. But I'm just trying to hear from anyone that's live about like what are your ideas to grow this ecosystem of revenue streams around your content. You know, Sapphire says one, she says congratulations, thank you so much, and like she's currently on the TikTok Creator Fund, which is amazing. Shout out to you. So that's another revenue stream. I would consider that from content creation. Most definitely. After my digital product, I don't really know what the next steps are. I think that, oh, Sapphire says, yes, but page is about curly hair inspo. I do plan on having a business in my future centered around my niche. And I think this is a good point here, and the point that I'm trying to make. Like, your content is like the beginning of it all in terms of business. And I feel like there's some people that create content thinking like all the money is just going to come from working with brands or just from the content itself. But the content is really a vehicle to get you to a place of really generating some serious numbers if you're strategic about building a business around this. So I was saying, I don't know what's next after the digital product. I'm sure that I do. I just can't think of my plan fully right now. But I know for me, it's been like, oh my gosh, creating this digital product seems like a lot of work. Can I just be real? It just seems like a lot of work, and I haven't had time to put towards it this month. But I'm gonna work on it next month. I'm gonna work on it. So I feel like I have to get to that milestone first, create it, and then I'll take it from there. I made a live stream about, how you could go about creating your own digital product. And I forgot what else I was going to say on that subject. But if I didn't finish what I wanted to say about the creator economy, basically get in now. Get in now. If you are like, I don't know if I should really go all in from a business standpoint with my content creation, start now. And one way you could start is just by thinking about it, creating a blueprint, creating a plan. For me, I know like part of like the first thing that needs to get done is building a successful YouTube channel. And, maybe you're like Sapphire, you rather work the TikTok streets. You might want to do Instagram. You need to build a platform up. Like, I feel like if we're talking about ingredients for a creator business, it's having at least one strong, well-performing platform created and built. That comes with a lot of different things you got to work on, a lot of different things you have to do. It takes time. Start now. Get it done now. Shelly says, for me, I don't see myself selling a digital product, which I'm not against at all. I just don't see that, at least not yet. But I can see myself selling a product, merch, etc., physical product, merch, etc. I mean, I understand that. I definitely understand that. I want to take a moment to talk about the struggle content creators face due to a lack of understanding about the business side of content creation. If you never took your hand at entrepreneurship before outside of content creation and you only been trying to build yourself up as a creator, you're kind of you're kind of I don't know, the analogy or the vision that's coming to my mind is like you're walking in a dark tunnel, like you're walking blindly. If you don't have a decent level of business acumen, you're doing yourself a disservice in a sense, because along your content creation journey, you won't necessarily be able to allow your mind to come up with different revenue stream ideas that can come out of your content creation. So it is a true struggle for a lot of creators, because Some people just focus so much on the creation of the content that they aren't focusing on a creation of a business. If something were to happen to YouTube and I didn't build a business on the side, I didn't build a deeper connection with people who want to do business with me in some way, I would be in trouble. Some people on TikTok may be facing like, oh no, I put all my eggs in this TikTok basket. And how do I stay connected to what I built or make what I built do something for me from a business standpoint? Um, have you guys heard of the term like starving artists before? So essentially, a starving artist is like they're good at art, they make great art. No one can deny their skill set, but they never put the strategy or the systems, however you want to call it, in place to create something from that art that would be able to sustain them financially. And this is a struggle that I hope with my content in the future, if not already, in some shape or form, I hope to relieve content creators from. And by going on my business journey and establishing my creator business, I help other content creators learn how to focus on the content and the business simultaneously and help creators understand the relationship between business and content creation and how that can work for them. Even the whole wording of like, oh, quit your job to do content creation, that's so surface level. I use it in some of my titles and everything like that because it's common language in this space. It's common language amongst the people that I'm trying to connect with. But it goes beyond not being able to work a regular job, because the truth and the fact of the matter is you could start making enough money from your content creation, but you probably will have to work more than your 9 to 5 job or the job you currently have, because that's usually the case for entrepreneurs. And if you look at your content as a business, if you look at content creation as a business, if you add up the math, you're going to be doing a lot more work. I heard a saying of like, you traded in your 9 to 5 for a 24/7 or something like that. I don't know what it is, but please, if you have a desire to do content creation full time, and if you want to establish a certain lifestyle for yourself, establish a lifestyle for the people that come after you, just understand there's a lot of work ahead. There's a lot of work ahead. Sapphire says, I was thinking of doing the digital product of creating itineraries of places I visited and selling those. Travel content is my other interest outside of hair content. I think that's an amazing idea because I know for me, coming up with itinerary for travel is a lot of work. And that's something I feel like people will just pay for. So I'm happy to hear you guys are interested in digital products as well. But on another note, personal branding goes hand in hand with all of this because I guess if you have a faceless channel, this doesn't pertain to you. But if you show up and if you are your content, you are your content, and the way you show up online has a major has a lot to do with your personal brand. And success in the creator economy goes way beyond just creativity and being a creative. you're going to have to build your strategy muscle. You're going to have to put your strategy hat on and get crafty. Strategy sometimes can feel like a elusive word, but you're going to have to mix the creativity side of yourself with the business side of yourself. I think Rihanna and Beyonce are just amazing examples of this. Both of those women, B. B stands for billionaires. Those women are billionaires. They are creative geniuses. Can't deny that. Can't deny their talent. Can't deny their creative vision. You just can't do it. But make no mistake, whether they didn't have it in them in the beginning or not, they got their business. They got their business shit up. They got their business mind up. They didn't just say, I'm just a pretty girl gonna be out here making music and that's it. How many artists do you know that are on that type of time where they're not on their Beyonce or their Rihanna? They're just riding the wave of here's my looks, here's my music, that's it. Will they be around? Let's just look. Will those people be around as long as Beyonce and Rihanna have been around? I'm unsure about that. It's one thing to recognize your talent, and it's one thing to capitalize on your talent from simply just make, for in that example, making a song and selling the song. But those that can create a business around their talent, those are the ones with true. Those are the ones you just can't fuck with. I don't know how else to put it, guys. And it's like, what bucket do you want to be put yourself in? Do you see the content you make as like an escape from your, like, if I do content creation, I get to escape the 9 to 5 life. I don't have to have a boss and I don't have to have this and that. Really and truly, it's way beyond that. Way beyond that. And you got to know what you're getting yourself into. Honestly speaking, content creation isn't for everybody. And people will find that out the hard way oftentimes. They'll do it for a while, keep doing it, and they'll just be like, this isn't for me. And they may feel that way because they didn't recognize how much of a strategic business hat you kind of have to go along with it in order to make real money. Let's say that's not you. Maybe you're not a business type person. I love entrepreneurship. The quicker you recognize that and are okay with that, you can partner up with someone who is and build a partnership and have someone who can be that business side of things, and you can just focus on being that creative person. But you're going to have to make moves out here. Sapphire says Jackie Aina is a perfect example to what you're saying. She put the work in, and now her rollout for her perfume has a great response. Ooh, Sapphire. Jackie Aina she is a beautiful. I've been saying beautiful as my go-to adjective in these past couple of days, but that is an excellent, 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 excellent example. It's an excellent example because she really came up out of YouTube. Did we know Jackie Aina from anywhere else? OG beauty YouTuber. I didn't know she was coming out with a perfume line, but I know Jackie Aina for her candles. What is her candles called? While we're on this subject, let me just Google Jackie Aina candles. Forever, a lifestyle brand by Jackie Aina. I'll share my screen with you so you can see. So this is her. Jackie Aina made this. And this has, I see these candles on TikTok. The people love these candles, you know. I would say this is a successful brand that she's created. Self-care club. There's different things going on, you know. Look at all these YouTubers in this picture. So yes, I agree, Sapphire. She is an amazing example. And one day, the point I want to make about this, one day you don't want to maybe have to rely so much on creating content. What if one day you're like, the level of output I've had to give over these years, I want to scale back. Well, then what are you going to rely on? That's why you want to use the personal brand you're building with your content to use that to create a successful business that's separate from you, so that in the event you want to pull back from the content creation, you have a brand that sustains itself. Those candles sell whether Jackie Aina makes content or not. Do they does she probably sell more if she's making content? Probably. But it's good that she has a that skill in her back pocket. Olu says, I am not monetized yet, but I still turned the channel into an LLC and was able to get a significant sum of my taxes back by writing off everything that I vlog. Yes. I have a video coming out tomorrow that goes into a little bit more detail on this point that's here on the screen. I highly suggest you create an LLC or whatever structure, legal structure of a business you find appropriate to couple with your YouTube channel, your content creation, because as I mentioned, you spent something to do this. You spend stuff on a monthly basis to do what you do. Make sure you get those write-offs, plus some other benefits of having a legal structure in place for the content that you make. You know, on the topic of other successful creators who transform their following into successful business ventures, I didn't watch Emma Chamberlain. It's not like I really know who Emma Chamberlain is. Like, I know her like that, but I just know that she's someone popular here on the internet, and she made a brand. I just want to give another example so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Oh, look, it has a nice little, this is her website. Wow. Let's get all of these things out the way. Look at this. Coffee Snob approved. This is Emma Chamberlain's brand. And if you don't know who that is, let's see if they have, look, you don't even see her face on here. I find that interesting. Let's get a look at Emma Chamberlain just so we can be American media personality and YouTuber. Have you came across her before? This is Emma Chamberlain. That's not a good yeah, so this is Emma Chamberlain, YouTuber, has her own complete business with the whole coffee thing, you know? I just think I just think this is a good example of like what I'm trying to say. Technically, you know, coffee is in a whole different industry, but she made, if it wasn't for her building the personal brand and doing her YouTube and everything like that, would this Chamberlain coffee be as successful or a thing the way it is today? I don't know. I don't know. Qua. Hi, Qua. In your opinion, do you think it's strategic to build an audience first and roll out with your business, or roll out and build along the way, trying to decide which is best? In my opinion, build the audience first. I was speaking with someone today and I was talking about different things that I want to roll out for my audience. And one of them, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and set that up right now. And the person I was speaking with was like, just wait a second. You don't need to roll it out right now. Just wait. Maybe find a point within your audience where you'll feel like you want to pull that trigger, but there's no need to pull it right now. They said maybe at 10,000, you want to pull that trigger. And the reason for that is I have about 1,600 subscribers right now. So say whatever it is that I was talking about, I want to roll out, about out of the 1,600, out of the 16, what is that noise? Is that the water? Can you put it in the fridge or something? Because it's going to keep making that noise, babe. So I have 1,600 subscribers right now. Let's say 10% of those people, I'm not good at math. Let's say 10% of those people bought this thing. Say it costs $20. What's 10% of $20, babe? Yeah. No, what's 10% of $20? Okay. So I have 1,600 subscribers. Say I wanted to come out with something that costs $20. Oh, I was saying I'm sorry, guys. I'm so bad with numbers. Even just talking about them, I get jumbled and fumbled up. Basically, what I'm trying to say is if I have 1,600 subscribers, I roll out something. Let's say only 10% of them want to engage with that thing, meaning they want to make a purchase on that thing. If that thing is $20, that would be 20 times 160 people, right? That would be $3,200. Let's just say. But if my audience was 10,000 and I say 10% of those people engage with this $20 item, that's 1,000 people that would engage with it times 20. That's $20,000 of this hypothetical $20 product. So I bring that up to say a lesson I learned is like the value in waiting to pull the trigger on certain things in terms of a business stance, because that 3,200 sounds nice right now, but I could put in the same level of work later on when my audience is bigger to roll that product out and get way more in return. 3,200 versus 20,000. Was that the number? I don't want to miss 3,200 versus 20,000. And that was like a whoa, mind blown moment for me. Thank you guys for helping me with the numbers, because you guys saw I was struggling. But I hope my example is clear with this question. If you wait a little bit longer and build your audience to a certain point that you feel is comfortable, because you may want that 3,200 right now for your hypothetical $20 service, $20 product, whatever the case may be. But there is, what's that saying about patience? Patience is a virtue when it comes to business. Another reason I say build the audience first, because it takes trust. You have to have trust with these people. Good way to build trust is doing live streams, because you get to connect with people. But ultimately, when you have a smaller community on your platforms, that kind of means you have less trust with people in a sense. I don't know what I was watching, but they was talking about how it takes 7 or 8 interactions with a brand before someone turns into a customer and they make a purchase. Same goes for social media and your content. People probably usually have to interact with you 7 or 8 times, whatever the number is, before they press that subscribe button. Oftentimes, if you have a banger video and they like you right off the bat, maybe they'll subscribe to you. But usually it's those folks that have over a period of time sat with you and connected with you. That's where the trust was built. So you want to wait to roll out your products, your services, whatever it is that you're trying to sell, so that you giving yourself an opportunity to build like, know, and trust with as many people as possible. You can't wait forever. But as I broke down with the numbers and stuff, being strategic about that time to pull the trigger will be, you'll get more bang for your buck. You'll get more a potential greater response for the same amount of work to roll that thing out than you would if you didn't. Sapphire says, I think it's best to wait to build your community first. Another reason it's best to wait might go along with what I was just talking about, but for me, who primarily I want to offer a service, I'm using my YouTube channel to build authority within my niche, or from a business standpoint within my market. How can I charge what I want to charge for my service when I have not demonstrated that I know what I'm doing / talking about? Oftentimes with an earlier channel, if you've only been doing content creation for 6 months, sometimes it's not enough to demonstrate you are a true authority. And I, again, similar, trust you enough to pay you to help me with this thing. Trust you enough to buy your product to solve the problem that I've expressed. So there's a lot of benefits in waiting first. It can be hard, but it can be hard because it's like, I'm ready to make this money. I feel you. But as someone who didn't do this route beforehand and ended up just working with people that, not everyone I worked with, but working with some people that just didn't fit my ideal customer, it's best to wait. Olu says, my fam and her sweaters is a good example. She waited until she had 1 million followers, and now the sweaters sell out at $80 plus. I think that's another great example. My fam and her sweaters. Can we just take a moment? I know who my fam is, I think, but I didn't even know. Oh, okay, guys. Let me show you these things, these sweaters. Alchemy. What does it say? Your fear of looking stupid is holding you back. Our story. Oh, look at, this is my fam right here. So yeah, I think that is amazing. Imagine, because ultimately this is just a hoodie. Do you know how many people she's competing with in the market of hoodies? But because she built her personal brand up, and so many people just like, they love her for her, they're gonna want to support with their dollars. And now she's doing her thing. So I think that's another great example. Oh, let's get this off. Wow, thank you so much. Such valid points, because I just don't want to jump out there and be desperate for sales. Oh, and that's what I'm saying, because I went through that, being desperate for sales. It really sucks the fun out of entrepreneurship. But I found waiting, like I said, it brings so many benefits. Another example, oh my gosh, Tabitha Brown is an amazing example of what we're talking about in terms of why building a personal brand now brings a successful business later. Oh, she's had Target collaborations. She has a cookbook, show or something like that. What else? Tabitha Brown, she has a hair care line. She has been able, remember my analogy in the beginning of like your content as your trunk, and then so many things can branch off of it afterwards. I think Tabitha Brown is such an amazing example. I wish I had an example of her brand, but I don't. Of like how many different verticals she's been able to have from her brand, but I don't have one, guys. But look into it. Sapphire says, not only do you need to build a following, but also build connections interacting with your audience. That's vital to your success. Yes. I don't know where I heard it today. I was actually reading an article. I think the article might still be up on my phone. I came across a guy. He was talking about how he worked with Beyonce. He said, let's get it clear. I worked for Beyonce for a year. She wasn't a diva and wasn't passive. It was a masterclass in digital strategy. I love this type of stuff, So I was just reading this article, and to the point that's on the screen, one of the first things he learned from the queen, Beyonce, don't build community, facilitate it. And when I first heard that, I was like, whoa, what does that even mean? But essentially, like Beehive, right? So back in the early days of Twitter and like Instagram, Beyonce wasn't like the biggest fan of social media. She kind of felt like she didn't really fit on social media, which a lot of true artists feel that way. But ultimately, she still had to do it, right? She had a Twitter account, but she wasn't active on the Twitter account. But the Beehive took it upon themselves to interact and build community around Beyonce. They loved her music. They loved what she stood for. There was already a culture surrounding Beyonce without her even having the post. We're not Beyonce, but just follow along with the story. So there was already a culture established online. This guy that wrote the article, he was responsible for bringing the Beyonce brand onto the internet. This is the early days, okay? This is back then, almost over 15 years ago. So those people were already like, yeah, we love Beyonce online on Twitter and everything like that. So what he did was figure out, how can we connect and interact with these obvious true fans of Beyonce. Let's see. What did he say? He said, then the team noticed there was already a group that found each other online, and they were far more active than anything they were trying to do in terms of Beyonce's social media. And we stopped working on building Beyonce an online community, instead started engaging with the online community that already existed. We found people who saw the world similarly to Beyonce, and then we engaged with them based on their shared values and beliefs. Now, what is the takeaway that you can have from this little tidbit I'm sharing with you? In terms of building connections and interacting, when it comes to choosing a niche and everything like that, there's already people who exist that care about that same very thing you care about. And to the point of don't build community, facilitate it. I think a great way to establish connections and interact is to figure out within this community that already exists, what are the topics relevant to them? What are the things these people are thinking about and talking about, like in their group chats amongst their friends that care about the same particular subject? And how can you interact with them? One thing live streaming has done for me, I don't have 1,000 people and all these people on my live streams yet, but the people that do tap in with me, like Sine is here oftentimes with me. Shelly is here oftentimes with me. Maggie is here oftentimes with me. You know, there's other people. Derek, I've done live streams with him, everything like that. Like, they obviously have an interest in these topics that I'm caring about. And through these live streams, they've mentioned stuff, just like you guys are giving examples of creators who have built successful businesses. We get to do some type of co-creating and interacting, essentially, which is building a connection between all of us. You know, so I hope I didn't lose you there. I think a good point. He said people who come together under the moniker of the Beehive don't just love Beyonce's music, they subscribe to her point of view. To be a successful content creator and eventually establish a successful business, you have to know how to establish a strong point of view. And when you have that point of view, find others who maybe have a similar point of view, or other people that want to hear what you have to say. Sapphire, who's on the live, hopefully is still here with me. I was on Instagram and she posted something today. She has definitely inspired me for a long time. She knows how to give her point of view. I want to bring Sapphire's page up. But she literally posted something stating her opinion. And in the caption, she says, let's talk about it. You know, where is it? Are you going to get clear? You can't hear the audio, but I don't know. I just thought about that. Like, you know how people do stitches? This essentially what she posted is a stitch. A stitch on TikTok, you know, someone says something and then you come in with your own point of view. Have you practiced establishing your point of view and putting it out into the internet, into your content? It's one thing to teach someone and kind of like share information that you've learned, you know, share things that you're passionate about. But what takes your content to another level is when you have inserted your very particular point of view into that content. I had this up, but I didn't verbally say it. Keith Lee is also an amazing example of creators who have built something incredible from their content creation. We're talking about money here, but we all want to have, hopefully, a positive impact on this world. When you just take things up a level and don't get so caught up in the content, you're not only able to establish a business that can generate a lot of revenue for you, but it can also generate positive impact into this world. So Sapphire says it went viral on TikTok, 100K likes, and it's because so many people related to what I said. Oh my gosh, Sapphire. Sapphire, I'm going to have to pull up this video here. You guys give me a second, because I know it's a great example of what I'm talking about in this current moment of like learning how to insert your point of view. So give me 1 second. Sapphire, can you just copy and paste the link to the TikTok in the chat, and then I can play it? That'll be the easiest way for us to see this great example that went viral. Sapphire is no stranger to going viral on TikTok. In the meantime, while we cue that up, I guess I don't want to get too far away from the topic of establishing your point of view. I'll just share, for me, Dan Coe. Dan Coe is a really great person to learn from in terms of establishing your own point of view. And I'll bring his page up so that you can see. He is the one that um, it really opened my eyes to this. Share screen, Danco. Can you guys see that? Yes. So this guy, take a look at his content if you need help with what does it look like? What does it mean to let your point of view set you apart from everybody else in your niche? I don't know if I mentioned this in the live or not. Guys, the days are blurring together at this point. But it's one thing to like come across a video and you're like inspired, like, ooh, I can create a video. I can talk about this. I can do that. But you just have to make sure you're inserting like a fresh take, a fresh idea, a fresh angle on that thing, you know? Singled Out Well says, yeah, Danco is the man. I was in his cohort for 6 months and learned so much. Oh my gosh, Singled Out Wealth. That's just a testament um to Danco. He he's so good because he's very opinionated. He's very opinionated. But it's not always about being opinionated. I feel like that term can sometimes have a negative connotation, but no, like your opinion is what kind of defines you in a sense. I don't know if Sapphire is here with us, so I figured out a way to pull up this thing. Give me 1 second. All right, so what I'm about to share with you guys is a really good example of what the power of sharing your opinion. Okay. Do, 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 do. Let me.
People seem to think that I hate my curly hair or that I want to be more white by doing it.
Let's start it over. I'm unsure if you guys can hear it.
People seem to think that I hate my curly hair or that I want to be more white by doing
it. Be for real. Be for real. When are we going to be real with ourselves? When are we going to admit that wearing our hair in its natural state majority of the time is draining? When are we going to be real about the fact that it's not all fun and games? It's not all living my best life, living my life like it's golden. It's living my life in misery sometimes. For example, myself, if I do a wash and go or a curly style, it doesn't last. It doesn't last. My hair gets matted up, whatever you want to call it, really easy. By day 2, it looks like I did my hair 3 weeks ago. Even in braids, my hair does not last. The easiest style for me that's curly is a braid out, right? But every night, do you know what I have to do to maintain this? Plait it up. Imagine being tired and having to do about 10 plaits in your hair. Now, when I get a silk press, all I gotta do is wrap it at night, within like a minute or less. And it lasts me 2 months. And no, I don't add any heat to it from the initial day of me straightening my hair. And hey, if you are that kind of natural that loves your hair and it's so fun for you, like you have no complaints, it's the best thing of your life, I love that for you, seriously. But unless you're going to do people's hair for them all the time, don't clock them wearing their hair straight and don't attach it to European stuff either.
And she essentially goes on to continue to share her opinion on this matter. And I'm trying to show you. Can you guys see? Let me scroll up because I just watched it. Can you see that it says on the one highlighted just watched 870.5K views. You know, I could share the link to the full TikTok, but my best performing video on my channel was me sharing my opinion on a topic essentially, and it has done super well for me. You know, Sapphire is not. Let's put it on the screen. She's not doing nothing fancy. All she's doing is sitting there, sharing her opinion. Look at the response at it. She posted this a day ago, almost 900K views, about to do 1 million, because she shared her opinion. And just to drop, like, bring us on home on this point, because I started with the guy that worked for Beyonce. He said people who come together under the moniker of the Beehive don't just love Beyonce's music, they subscribe to her point of view. And I even love that wording. That kind of went over my head when I first said this. They subscribe to her point of view. Dan Code teaches how to get people to subscribe to your point of view. And the point that I'm trying to make here is you need to get people to subscribe to your point of view. And it's not even about getting them to do it, because it happens naturally. It happens effortlessly once you've mastered or gotten better at sharing your point of view. Some of us in content creation, the YouTube educators in them, I don't really feel like they teach that. Dan Coe is really like the top one that teaches what I'm talking about right now. Like, he is the go-to on this specific matter. He is the go-to. And you know, this guy that worked for Beyonce, he says, to me, that was one of the biggest lessons of my marketing experiences working with her. You don't build a community, you facilitate it. So I feel like it's all really actually starting to click for me. This little don't build a community, you facilitate it. A person who is the facilitator in a room, if you just think about that, like, their job is to orchestrate the conversation or the different opinions of if you think about a panel, when was the last time you watched a panel or take part in sat in the audience of a panel? There's usually a facilitator, and all those people on the panel, they all have a different point of view, but they're all being asked the same question. The job of the facilitator is to orchestrate and weave together everyone's opinions to provide value to that audience. Well, you can do the same thing by being able to share your point of view and find the group of people, the community of people who want to, who share similar interests of your point of view. I hope I'm making sense. I'm going to leave off of this topic, and please forgive me if I'm unclear. The last thing that I want to talk about here is driving home the importance of strategic thinking and guidance to turn valuable ideas into profitable realities. Valuable ideas into profitable realities. You know how earlier I brought up Rihanna and Beyonce? They've turned so many ideas into profitable realities. Right now, Beyonce's idea of sacred is a profitable reality for her right now. But again, these brands are able to do so well because of the personal brand that is built first, of the communities that are built first around a particular point of view, essentially. You know, Singled Out Wealth is helping me out here. Your community will always be down for your point of view. Exactly. And something that I want to say with this is, as you evolve as a person, because Beyonce has evolved, she's not the same. She just dropped a country album, you know, but what still exists in that album from um, what's that album? I Am Sasha Fierce. Remember that one? To the album she just dropped, her point of view remains. And so as you evolve as a content creator, as you evolve in entrepreneurship, if you learn the skill of injecting your point of view into everything, it will all connect. It will all make sense. And that tree that we talked about, you'll be able to have so many different branches off of that tree because you learned that skill of having a very strong point of view and learning how to like incorporate it into all that you do. Strategic thinking is crucial, and it doesn't come easy to everybody. It's not everyone's strong suit. It happens to be one of my strong suits, and I'm grateful for that. Just a little insight. In the future, I hope to use my strategic thinking to help others in some type of way. So yeah, like I would say, if you want to start a creator business in 2024, strategic thinking, developing your point of view. What else did we talk about? Understanding business it's all going to work for you. To this point about Beyonce dropping her new album, Sapphire says, I loved it before I even listened to it. It's connection. People connect with people at the end of the day. And if we want to be successful in business, we have to understand the art form of building connections with people, with what we create, with what we put out into the world. We can't be so, oh, I'm about to make this and I'm about to make $1 type of, that's not how we, especially for a creator business, which is again a business basically that comes out of your YouTube channel or your content creation, however you want to put it. People connect with people. Like you can't come on here and come onto these platforms just trying to make a quick little dollar, like I'm going to do this, make some money type of thing. All the money will come. Like if you have your heart and mind, everything in the right place, and you're more focused on building relationships out here, the money will come. The money will come. Manasi says, amazing to see how your subscriber base has grown. This is encouraging to see, and I hope we can all learn from this, not just watching, but doing something same and getting better. Yeah, I appreciate that acknowledgement, Manasi. Not just watching. Yeah. So I think even though this wasn't my best in terms of, I don't know what to even say, guys. I hope you just have some grace with me if I was a little bit long. I am exhausted. My 30-day live challenge ends tomorrow. I will be just sharing like what live streaming has done for my channel this month. If you're watching this on the replay, that video will be up more than likely very soon, if not yet, if not right now. I enjoyed this conversation. I kind of just flowed with it, and I hope you were able to take something away from this if you have watched the whole thing and been with me this whole time. Everyone here live with me, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I enjoy your presence. Everyone that has just helped me out here. You know, Shuggy, I never put this on the screen when we were talking about Emma Chamberlain. I don't want to get too far away, guys, but Jordana checked in. Hello. Everyone, I appreciate you so much and have a beautiful night. Bye-bye. That's like a fake smile. Bye-bye.